Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Mind Over Money, well, a show where we talk about how meditation, yoga, and behavioral science can help you become a better, efficient trader, investor, and a better human being. Well, my name is Tapan, and today we have with us Tapan Singhel, who is MD and CEO of Bajaj, Allianz General Insurance. Well, this is the second episode of our two-part series with Mr. Singhel. In the first part, we talked about techniques of staying calm, why being happy is important, and how to stay mentally fit. Now, without further delay, let me quickly invite the man himself to the conversation. Welcome to the show, Mr. Singhel.
Thank you, Shirish. My honor as usual.
Right. Well, Mr. Singhel, let me understand with you. I was just going through your profile, and what I like the most is, the series that you started, Breaking the Bias. So, what gave you, the motivation to start that series?
What happens is a lot of us, nobody wants to be having biases. Nobody wants to be biased against something. Everybody is a good human being. But over time, biases do get developed. Best of people, each one of us would build some bias over time. It just happens, without even thinking, And if you actually look back, you will see that at some points of time, there would be some bias which creeps in your decision making, or your thinking, or your views. So a conversation on breaking the bias is very, very critical, and that is where you get people to talk about it, or if there's a bias that you feel that would be prevalent, get somebody who is very, very randomly tangent off the bias, and you say, oh no, this was a bias, but this is not true. So how do you, in a subtle way, break biases which creeps over time because of society, with the family, because of the place you are in, and how do you keep on doing it constantly? That was what my thought process was. It's not like telling people that you have a bias. It doesn't work because most people think that they don't have bias, but the bias does creep in, and it's for all of us. It's not about any one individual. So how do you bring up relevant topics? How do you discuss about it, which you feel would be a common prevalent bias, and how do you just break it and just put it like so it's subtle messaging in which the biases keeps breaking down over time. So I think that is what our endeavor was in trying to do that.
No, absolutely wonderful idea and wonderful thought. I think that is more important. Coming back to the question where you are an inspiration, definitely. The way you conducted yourself as a leader, so you are definitely an inspiration to a lot of people. So what is your motivation, or what is that one thing that inspires you the most?
Okay. So I think when I was younger, Shidich, I didn't think so much. I was like, any normal young person, very rash, very, maybe angry. I don't care if I hurt somebody, did not hurt somebody. It was just like a part of, being, yeah. Somewhere down the line, I realized that this is not the kind of life that I want to lead. The life I want to lead is where I can make a difference to people's life, where I can be with them in their, bad times, good times, stand by them.
Absolutely.
And develop that over time. And once I had that feeling, then I also started thinking that even people who harm me, I should think good for them. And so these are like over time you have to work on it. It's not like a switch, that it just happens. And then over time, as you start thinking good for everybody, you start thinking what can I do for them more? How can I make a difference to their life? How can I bring them to? It's not about just giving charity or giving money, but my strong belief is that you have to work on building competence. You have to work on building skills. You have to work on building that kind of capability. So that's more sustaining than just This is about giving a part of your time, a part of your life, a part of your learnings, a part of your own efforts to people, and that is how you build it on. So I think this transition happened to me over time, and this is how my thinking has evolved, and that's the way my behavior has changed over time. So it's just a natural progression. I think most people go through this. I've also gone through this natural progression.
So any books also sort of contribute to that particular change in process?
After the change in process, obviously I started trying to figure out books. So what happened was I got inspired by understanding of what spiritualism, what yoga is. A lot of us understand yoga very wrong. We just see it as a physical form of the exercise, which is a part of it, not complete, I think. And then when all that curiosity, I'm a very curious person by nature, So when curiosity gets into, I try to read a lot of books and
figure. So you're the seeker. So in
So what
Shastras,
about
no, absolutely. So, we give a lot of importance to the person who seeks. So you're a seeker, and that's where the knowledge flows.
yeah. So then I read a lot of books, understood the philosophy behind it, understood the science of spiritualism. People confuse it. It's not like something which is mystical. It's a very scientific process, a very simple scientific process. No, it is not a very complicated process. I think somewhere I remember one statement by which is attributed to Lord Buddha, in which he just says that if you want to see the bottom of the pond, the water has to be still. You know, so I think that one sentence would define enlightenment itself. If you understand it, no, I think so.
True.
As you read deeper and you look at different philosophers, Patanjali, the yogi, the way he speaks about the concept of chit with so that how do you still your mind completely, that to be the path to enlightenment. So I think be it the Veds, be it the Purans, be it both, be it the Jains who read, or be it pick up any book and go through it. It's so fascinating. And let me tell you one experience and learning that I have. It's a very scientific process, Shailesh. It's nothing to do with something which is very, very, like you can't understand. Any person in this world, any person, irrespective of who he or she is, can become spiritual in a very scientific process. I think that is what my learning has been in this entire journey.
No, brilliantly articulated there. And definitely moving on. My next question is pretty much related. How's meditation helped you, sort of look inward, especially in tough times?
I think to me, meditation is not about looking anywhere. It is just about the point I told you, stilling the mind, or getting the pond to become so still you can see the bottom, which should be there. And to do that, I think there are many techniques. There are not one. So some people go through chanting, that is a form of meditation. Some people do the breath technique, that's form of meditation. Some people do prayers, that also is meditation. I think if you do any work, that itself is a meditation. So meditation is not about just one thing. It's a way of life. And if you are successful in imbibing in whatever you do, you can be meditative 24 hours a day. I think it is like that. So I think it's something that so you start enjoying over time, because it gives you more focus, more clarity, more simplicity of life, more humbleness to see things differently. But it's a constant endeavor. You can never say that you have completely achieved it.
Wonderfully put there. Constant endeavor. That's definitely a taking point there. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Singhel, for your time today. And that's all for now. But do stay log on to edmarkets.com for more on news, business, and economy. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. My honor.